Hi everybody, welcome to Sarah's Kitchen. We are at part 3. You guys can't see it. This you can see great. Let's bring it down. Nobody needs to see my head. There we go. So it's late at night here. It's not that late. It's almost 7 o'clock at night. And I am making you guys part 3 of my famous 100-layer cake, but I gave up after I made 50 layers. My batter ran out. The kids ate half of it, so I ended up with 21 layers. And you've seen part 1 and 2 already. Now I'm gonna make the crepes. I'm gonna show you guys a few crepes that I'm gonna make. And then you don't need to watch me make 50 different crepes. But here's the process. I love, 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 love my Cuisinart. If you guys have a crepe machine that you're happy with, great. This one, I've actually given it away to as presents for so many people. It has different temperatures and different capacities. The top comes off, you can flip it, you can make those little biscuits and wafer biscuits for ice cream or desserts. And you guys saw me make my beautiful batter. This should rest really 24 hours before you start making it. That just helps, gives time to the flour to absorb the liquid, and so it doesn't come out chalky or chewy. It's really the key to this cake. The most gorgeous part of this cake, I'm trying to think where I'm gonna put this, is the fact that when you bite into it, it melts in your mouth. It's really silky smooth. So I took it out. It's cold out of the refrigerator, and this crepe machine comes with this beautiful scooper, and it comes with the wood thing, a little wood thing. This is how I like to use it. And I go right in the middle. And then I use this bottom of this really ever so slightly. I kind of spread it out. And I try to make every single one the same size. Now here's the thing with this cake. Let's say as you're doing that, because it's happened to me, you bump a hole in there. Just pick it up, pour a little bit more, patch it up, because don't forget, this cake is going to be layer over layer over layer. It doesn't have to visually look perfectly done. It does have to be a certain amount of thickness. I find that this helps kind of visualize it and eye it and know how much you're pouring. Cheers. It's Saturday night here and the kids are all out, and my husband and I are enjoying a quiet evening. We've had a busy weekend, Thursday and Friday. So tonight we're just gonna chillax together, watch some good TV, have some yummy wine, and go to sleep early, hopefully. And then tomorrow we have another big day ahead of us. But anywho, this'll cook, and this is why I'm not gonna put you guys through making every layer of this, watching me. This is a very time-consuming, this process is time-consuming where you can't expedite it. You just kind of gotta let your machine go at it. It has 2 temperature settings. One is low, medium, high. I kind of put it a little over medium just because I know what I'm looking for. I wanna show you guys what's happening. This is cooking, the steam's coming off. That says it's ready. I want it to have a little bit more color on it. I don't want it to be too raw and pale and soft, because then when I'm handling it, it'll rip. So here we go. We're gonna give it a little bit more time. I feel it's working once I'm holding it. I see steam coming off, so it still has moisture in it. It's past medium just a little bit. And then this other knob has a crepe setting, Pizzelle. You can make little pizzas, tortilla on here. So I put it obviously on the crepe. Here we go. That is perfect. It's a little bit more golden here. I don't know why this machine becomes more well here. Actually, I do know why, because the lock is here, so it holds it tighter. It gets more contact from the top and the bottom. There's my crepe. Look how thin and gorgeous that is, and it's so hot. So I'm gonna put this on my board, and I'm just going to now start layering it. I have a plastic on the bottom because I don't want it to get dry and sticky. There it is, right here. And I'm gonna move on to the next one. This is the process I told you guys that's gonna take a while. I'm gonna show you guys a few of these. Again, I pour it and I gently push it. If I push it too hard, I will scrape the bottom, and this surface is hot. So as I'm doing this, this crepe has already started to cook. That's why you can't push it too hard. You just ever so slightly. And again, does not need to be a perfect circle, because once you pile it all up, it adds character to your cake, where one slice is a little bit thinner, the other one's a little bit further out. There's movement, and it's not supposed to be a perfect cookie cutter symmetrical. It could be asymmetrical. I love that about this cake. The presentation is beautiful. It's very natural. It's very airy. It's such a sensual cake. I noticed the first time I had it, it was an explosion in my mouth. I love you guys. Oh my God, I did not know that YouTube, you can do that too. Thank you for your requests and your interests. I love this, and I love that you can comment on the live. As I have said before, I had this cake. I'm a foodie. I've had food and desserts in all types of restaurants. I'm not a foodie snob. I don't only go to 5-star or 3-star Michelin restaurants. I like everything. I'll go on hole in a wall. I love a taco stand. I love a burger truck, wherever. But there's something about this when I took my first bite of that cake, and it was from a famous bakery, Lady M, shout out to them, at my girlfriend's house. And I went, I never, ever, ever, hardly ever do I get a slice of cake as dessert and I finish it. And I promise you guys, not only did I finish the slice of cake, I had a second smaller portion. And the next morning, my husband and I, this was for a Valentine party, my husband and I, we both looked at each other and were like, we need to go on like a 7-mile hike. And we both went, what was so bad that we ate? Because the food was really healthy, lean, not too much carbs. And we both said, it was that darn cake. And so that's how this came to, was I thought, I just burnt it because I was yapping away. So when you burn it, it's still soft. I'm gonna put it here and I'm going to keep an eye on it. It might stay moist. It's not burnt, it's just a little bit crispier, by the way. It might harden on me. The one I made 2 days ago for Chris Jenner, 3 of my slices became that way. If you get sidetracked, you answer a phone call, or if you have a busy kitchen like I do, I'm making other things, it'll happen, not a big deal, you know? That's how your layers will become more or less. There's no police coming after you. It's your kitchen, there's no rules. So as I was saying, I came and I thought, I have got to figure this cake out. And no joke, the first time I made it was the one I served Chris Jenner here that you guys saw. And Oh my God, it was really incredible. It was incredible. It's an elegant looking cake. It is very sensual. It's very silky. It just melts in your mouth. And I'm gonna do this layer and then another layer. And what I'm gonna do while we're doing this and letting this cook, and it'll beep because the machine is actually working the brains of it. Doesn't know how well you want your crepe to be done. There it is. It's okay when it pops like that. That's ready. Now you could use, this one's super hot. I want it a little bit more cooked in the bottom. So I can leave it open. If the top gets a little more golden, you can leave it open. And that way just the layer in the bottom is cooking. Or you can remove it. And I'm gonna go get my handy dandy spatula with my S on it. This was a present from one of my beautiful followers on Instagram. If you're new to my feed, you should check me out on Instagram. That's where you see most of my posts. And I'm trying to intertwine the both and get you guys, this is the easiest way for me to post recipes. If you don't know about me, I am a mother of 3 and I'm a busy mom, wife, running a household, cooking, baking, driving kids, school, activities, studying, tutoring. And so I love all the feedback that I get from you guys regarding I should do X, Y, and Z with my account. There it is. It is so super hot. Let me check on the other one. The other one, it's still soft, this one, but I'm not gonna put it, I need it to be silky like this, so I'm not gonna use that one. And just pop it on top of your other one. They will not stick together, I promise you. Next. Thank you. Next. Here we go. Spread it out. There we go. That was the hole. No problem. We just cover it. No one's going to see it once I make the layers and the filling. And while that's cooking, I can show you guys the whipped cream that we made and our, let's move these around. Make room on my surface. There it goes. Here's the whipped cream that we made. It's so delicious. I'm going to taste it. Look at the thickness of that. Look, it doesn't even fall off the spoon. Oh my God, it's perfect. There it is. Now, once your machine gets going, it'll heat up much faster than the original. Look how thin that is. Next, I might be able to do this with you guys and just get the custard and the whipped cream blended. It's a nice quiet evening. The kids are all out. Otherwise I would not be able to do this. They'd be running up and down. So here we go. Here's the custard that we made. And we're gonna fold in the whipped cream into here. Just get a spoon. First, let me loosen this up. Oh, this is nice and cold. Just loosen it up. It was sitting out maybe for a few minutes, but I might have to give it 5 more minutes because it gets nice and, there we go. This custard is also on its own delicious. But for this cake, for this purpose, we need to get it to be really thin and airy and light, because custard tends to be a little thick and pasty where it sits on your tongue, the texture. So for this recipe, you want it to be so light where you don't even feel it. It just melts in your mouth. I cannot explain how beautiful this texture. Oh my goodness, that is super hot. There goes my spoon. I need another one of these machigis for my crepe or crepe or crepe. I don't know. Tomato, tomato. You could use anything to spread it around. Kind of, you'll have a couple of mishaps before you get it. It's normal. Take 1 spoon or 1 serving. And this one I'm gonna go vigorous because I wanna break up the custard. It's kind of really rigid and cold still. There we go. This one I'm gonna blend like this. And then the next layers. Now remember, if you watched part 1 of the custard making, or was that part 2, I think. Keep an eye on this. I'm still working this. All right. I want you guys to see everything that's happening. There we go. If you saw part 2, I believe. Now I'm just folding. Now all I'm doing is I'm going right in the middle. It doesn't seem like it would be overly sweet. Not at all. And that's exactly what I was gonna say, was that if you watched when I made the custard, it's very light in sugar. I mean, it only has 2 tablespoons of sugar. I doubled the batter because I wanted more. Ooh, I almost lost this, but it still looks good. Look how thin and flowy and silky it is. Next. So the point is, if you want it, let's say you get to this point and you mix the whipped cream. My kids, it's all my brainwashing, seriously, constantly telling them, don't give up on your kids, constantly remind them to read labels. I promise you it will make a difference. As much as they fight you, they will hear you. And so now my 16 and 14-year-old really totally get it. And not only do they get it, practice making light in sweetness, less sugary stuff at home, even when you're baking. And their palate gets used to that. So what happens at my house is if something's too sweet, my kids won't eat it. They just won't eat it. Giselle, thank God, doesn't even like cake. She just likes icing. Darius will not eat. He's 16. He's just like, no, it's too sweet, Mom. And Nicholas doesn't like it either, my 14-year-old. It's so interesting because he usually fights me with, oh, I want to eat this, I want to eat that, oh. And I'm always telling them to read labels. You just keep going at this, okay? And he says to me the other day, Mom, you know, I try to teach them about processed food. What's processed food? Well, everything in the market is processed, and that's the worst thing for you. I've been telling them all of this whole time. And he says to me, look at that. Look how thin that is. And it smells like butter. Oh my goodness. And he says to me, Mom, in health, the teacher was discussing processed food. And all the kids in my class, Mommy, were the kids that probably their parents don't tell them anything about diet. And I mean diet as not go on a diet, but a way of living and eating. And he says they were so shocked. And at lunchtime, none of the girls wanted to eat lunch at school because they were like, oh my God, ew, all of this is processed. So yes, do teach your kids. They will eventually learn. Make it a habit. I am a cancer survivor, so I do take nutrition, health very seriously. God, I got a tickle in my throat. Look at this gorgeous texture. And I'm always teaching my kids the importance of well-balanced diet also, and telling them that diet is not, I'm fat and I need to stay skinny or become skinny. Diet is a way of life, and your diet is what you consume, and your body is your temple. And honestly, my 16-year-old is totally aware of it now. My 14-year-old is about 75%. He still has his, oh, I really love my Cheerios. But cheers. And I tell them everything in moderation. You can't cut everything out, but you can't have everything all the time. This is still raw. I don't know how many layers we have so far. I'm gonna count this. Look at these beautiful layers. I don't know how many layers we have. 1. Hi, Gust. 4, 5. I have 6 so far, and it's been 22 minutes of this. My new age music is kind of becoming a little goth and cathedral sounding. All right, so I will continue to make this, and I'm going to come back with part 4, where I will show you guys. I will be done with this, because once these are done, you want them to cool off. You can't assemble them. Ooh, another batch. You can't assemble them while they're hot. Ooh, another batch. I love when boo-boos happen and you guys see how I just fix it. So I need to let the crepes, exactly, they live and learn, and they see it at home. So I'm gonna finish making all my batter. The crepes are gonna cool off. I'm going to finish mixing all of my whipped cream into my custard, and somewhere about now, I'm going to taste my custard. And I love it. But I'm gonna make more because I'm really going to need all of this custard, and I don't wanna go through making more custard. This whole thing is going to go in there. And once this is all combined and my crepes are done, I'm going to come back and, yes, do the finale, part 4, which is assembling this beautiful 100 layers. Now, when they say 100 layers, they mean there's 50 layers of crepe, and then in between every layer of the custard counts as another one. So we are aiming to get to 50 layers of crepe. Already I can tell you I'm down by 1, but even this one that got really toasty, look how thin it is. Look how, not thin, but look how much movement it has. It's not crispy. You can use it. I don't want to use it because I don't want, once they cut it, to see the goldness of it. I like the look of this pale. So I'm gonna lose one already. This my kids will gobble up. Let's save it for them there. And I'm yapping away. As I'm yapping away, I lost another one. You see? You've got to keep your eye on the ball. This is also too crisp. Too golden. Smells good though. There it is. And don't be afraid to play with the temperature. If you feel like you want to be able to do something, lower the temperature. That way it'll cook slower. You'll have time to, for say, finish this while your crepes are cooking. There it is. And what I like to do is I like to twist and twirl. Twist and twirl. Or you can cut in the middle and twist. Cut around and then in the middle and around. That's another way of doing this. All right, everyone. One more batch of this. Why don't I just finish this while you guys are all here? And you go slowly because you don't want to have streaks. That's the other reason why you did it. You would do this in portions. You don't pile the whole thing together and mix. You go slowly, gradually, and you fold so you don't have streaks. You fold from the middle. You'll come up with your own rhythm and pattern of how you do it. I go in the middle, then I go all around. Sometimes I wipe my spatula. I do this twirl thing a lot, right in the middle. There it is. Look at that, gorgeous texture. There's no lumps. This is heaven. Oh my God. Let's not kill another one. Ha! That was perfect. I did not kill it. You can tell how fast I popped it open. There it is. All right, friends, I will come back when this is done and I will assemble it and show you guys how it's all gonna come together. It's beautiful. Thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. That way you guys get notified. Hit the notification button also and you will get a ding when I post new recipes. Like my videos if you like them. Email me if you have any questions. And stay tuned for part 4 where our 100-layer cake is going to come together and it'll be easy and beautiful. Thank you. Have a great night and I'll be back in a little bit.